Now at 4 o'clock, this is so interesting. A new study suggests that changes in the seasons can cause changes in our brain size. Researchers compared over 3,000 MRI scans and found small but distinct effects. And joining us to talk more about this is Gregory Book. He's a researcher at Hartford Healthcare's Olin Neuropsychiatry Research Center. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I have never heard of anything like this before. What is it about the weather or the particular season that could actually influence brain size?
Well, that's something that we don't really know. We have some theories about that. The brain volume kind of changes in the winter compared to the summer, or when there's bad weather, if the barometric pressure is lower. But specifically, the cerebellum increases in volume in the summer, but decreases in the winter. And then when the weather is nicer, it's opposite. So there's kind of this weird thing between the cerebellum, which is the part of the brain that controls motion and movement and how we walk around, and the rest of the brain. But it's kind of like a balloon. When one part shrinks, the other part gets larger, and vice versa. But we're not really sure why that is. We think it has to do with the amount of oxygen that's available in the air when the barometric pressure is lower. It's a little bit less oxygen, so therefore the body needs to carry more blood to get the same amount of oxygen to the various parts of the body. So that may cause the changes in brain volume.
All right, so to break this down in layman's terms, are we smarter in the summer or the winter?
I don't know. I'm not going to say specifically one way or the other. If you just have a lot of extra fluid in your brain, that may or may not change things. There had been one other study that suggests that people do tasks better when the weather is nicer. So that's one study. But ours looks at brain volume, which sort of correlates with that, but it doesn't really correlate with intelligence or task performance. But it may have something to do with weather-related ailments. For people who have arthritis and other conditions, they know that when the weather is bad, they start to feel bad. So this may be a biological component that's showing up in the brain, and that may have implications for other disorders.
All right. Well, you know what? I learned something new today. Gregory Book, thank you so much for joining us and for your insight. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.